Hi, Michelle.
Hi everybody, I'm Anna, one of the two mythical unicorns. Welcome to our channel and to this video. It is great to have you here. Today I will be making a review of The Demon World by Sally Green. So The Demon World is the second part in the Smoke Thieves series. It is the same 5 main characters as in the first one. It is Tash, who is the Smoke Thief. It is Catherine, who is the princess. It is Ambrose, who is guarding the princess, and they are also in love. Surprise! And then it is March, and it's Edion. And those are the 5 main characters, same as the first one. And for this one, things ended kind of abruptly last time. There was a war breaking out and they all had to flee together. So they are all together when the book starts, and they are chased by the Brigantine army. And pretty soon they get separated. But that is where the book starts. And this book, I didn't think it was as good as the first one. Or maybe I just remember the first one as better than it actually was, because I was really happy about that one. It was still really good. I still really enjoyed it. I went through it in 3 days. So it was still a good read. But I don't think it lived up to the first one. I think the next one, because there will be a next one, that might weigh it up, like this is something in between thing. It was a good read. It was a good story. Read through it all, good plot, it was interesting. They split up, so Tash was on her own, and then Ambrose and Catherine were on their own, and March and Edion on their own. Though Catherine and Ambrose wasn't really alone, because she's the princess and he's her guard. Distract the kitten. So let's get into spoilers. The ones that I found most interesting in this book was March and Edion. They did not go to the demon world, and they were haunted by the Brigantines, and then Edion was charged with murder and arrested, and then they finally came to their end of the journey, and Edion got to meet his father, and the truth came out. And now they're separated and March has to leave, and that is where it ended. That makes me sad. Because, yeah, March went out to try to kill Edion. Not a good thing, I realize that. But he has never had, like, a safe space and feeling loved and family. Like, he lost all that when he was a little child. And then there comes someone and manipulates him and tries to take advantage of him. And yeah, sure, he chose to do those things, but brainwashing, you know. And then he learned, like, he got to know Edion, and he learned what he was doing was wrong. Okay, he already knew that, but still. And I get that Edion kind of sent him away, but it still makes me sad, because March changed so much, and he was crying at the end. He was screaming for Edion, and it just broke my heart. Let's hope for a reunion in book 3. Yeah, let's do that. And then we have Tash. And Tash went to the demon world with the others. And then they got separated, and she was alone with one of the soldiers, and there might be some feelings there. Maybe. That's what I read into it. Like, there's something going on. There might be a romance that will blossom in the next book if she survives, because she might not, like, for real, might not survive. She stays in the demon world because she gets to know one of the demons, and that they are not just creatures that kill people or take them and drag them into the demon world and changes them to demons. No, they do that, but they also have feelings. and she feels bad because she has killed so many demons. But still, they kill people and humans, and you are a human. You don't have to feel bad for them. Like, and now she decides to take on some kind of mission to help the demons and save the race because they are a dying breed. Because the way they breed is by killing other people. Like, they take people, they put them in the smoke, and then they come out demon. And like, what is that? That's just insane. It took a while for me to process that part, but like now she wants to save them, and I'm like, why? So she decides to help them, and the other soldier, they get out because the demon helps them and kill like the bad soldiers, the Brigantines. He kills them, so the soldier that's with her can get away, and Tash decides to stay, and she talks to the demon and like, yeah, I want to help you, and they talk by touching, because if she tries to talk in the demon world, it just sounds like pots and pans being banged together. So, and then they find out that, oh no, she has killed a lot of demons, and then they put her in a tunnel. And when there is no demon living in the tunnel, they just get smaller and smaller and smaller. And she is now encased in one of these tunnels, and the stone is getting closer and closer. So she might be... she's stuck, but she might also get crushed alive, which is... and I don't know how it works with the oxygen. Like, how long is she gonna be able to breathe in there? But maybe her demon friend will come to her rescue. Who knows? Still find it a little weird that she is like, oh, well, I'm gonna grow a conscience and now I feel bad about killing demons and I'm gonna save them. I find that a little strange, I have to be honest. I would have preferred if she went with her friend. And then we have Catherine and Ambrose. And when they get back to civilization, like, they are with the others, they are in the demon world, they leave Tash, and then they get out and they come to civilization. And she lies and says that she's married to Thane, so that they won't get killed, all of them. A good move, good choice. But then she starts taking the demon smoke, like, a lot. And it appears that it is addictive, which is not good. And then she's supposed to be a judge, because Edion was charged with murder and arrested. And now she's supposed to be the judge of that trial. So she just reads a lot of laws and politics and to try to get a fair trial. And I'm like, yeah. This, don't really know what's happening. Like, still, I get that she learns how the country works, and she kind of, I don't know. But yeah, she frees Edion, so that is good. He gets to go. But yeah, so she's kind of badass. Oh, come here. You get to be with me in the video for a little while. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So she's kind of badass in the regard of that she's trying to control an army, and that is not something women do. But still, she feels like, I don't know why, because she does these cool things, but she's kind of whiny. And Ambrose, like, Sally Green seems to be trying to get this pining man who is trying to do something for the greater good, and he's really in love with this princess, sorta queen. But he's not stoic, and he's just kind of groveling inside and also a bit whiny. It's just a mess. I think it has been done better. It's still a good read. I just got hung up on the bad part, because still, March and Edion. And I think that, because 5 main characters, that is quite a lot, because they take about equal space in the book and in the plot. So it could feel like it just too thin and spread out, because the book isn't that long. It is, I think, about 400 pages. Yeah, pretty much exactly 400 pages. And still, she gets this feeling that it's all bound together, and it doesn't feel thin, and it just goes together well. And yes, some of the people are together, so they kind of continue and carry the story forward together, but it's still like they take 3 different paths, and it still feels like one book and one story, and they come together even though they are apart. Am I making any sense? But yeah, so she does that well, and I'm impressed that it still feels like one story, and you don't feel like, okay, well, what happened over there and now I'm missing this. It still feels like it's all coming together in a good way and in a good pace, and it's like when one story or one part of the story is left off, it still feels okay to move on to the next part. I think in the next book it will be interesting to see both how Edion and March develop, because they've changed a lot during the first and the second book. So the people that they were in the beginning of the first book, they are completely different people now. But now they change, and because they kind of break up, if they were ever together, but they are split apart and are away from each other. And the last thing we get from Edion is, because he has stopped stealing. He used to steal things because his life felt empty and he was missing something, and so he took things, which did not go very well for him, but he stops because he gets to know March and he falls in love, and there's something new in his life, and he doesn't feel this need to steal things. And the last thing, because he sends March away, and it's really hard for him because he's still in love with March, because those feelings doesn't just go away. But the last thing that happens is that he steals a pair of gloves. So now he's going back to a behavior that he used to have, that he grew out of. So that's going to be really interesting to see, like, okay, but where does she take this in the next book? Where does Edion go? Is he able to grow on his own, or will he go back to March? And if he goes back to March, will he be a lesser person, or will he learn to grow and forgive March and see more perspectives? Because March tells his side of the story, how his people was abandoned, and now his father is talking about abandoning the country again, the same piece of land, because no one lives there anymore, because last time they all got killed and no one lives there anymore. And then he steals the gloves. So it will be really interesting for the next book to see where that goes. What will Edion do? How will he grow, or will he revert back to his old self? And I think that will be really interesting. And I'm also really excited to see March, because March was alone and he was kind of hard and hollow inside, and then he gets to know Edion and he changes his mind and he falls in love, and now he's sent away. And what will he do? Because I don't think he will become just hard and hollow again. I think he will carry his love for Edion, but it will be interesting to see how he uses it and what he does with it. What will he do for Edion in the way that he can do? And for the next book, it will also be interesting to see what Catherine does. Will she choose Zane and the power, or will she choose Ambrose and love? but she kind of has some feelings for Zane. So we'll see where that goes as well. Favorite part of the book. Don't really have a favorite part of the book, because as soon as something good happens, it's followed by something bad. And even when there are good parts, like there's still something nagging. So I like it when Edion and March, like, yeah, I guess that would be my favorite part, when they say I love you for the first time. Like, they're about to die and he feels kind of like, okay, now I have to say it because this is gonna be my last chance. But it's still cute, and I really liked it. And then March kills the dog and they are okay. And Catherine killing her brother, that was insane. That was kind of badass. That was good as well. But I think that was it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want more, please subscribe. And until next time.